There is the Exodus story of the 10 plagues. The next Exodus story of thing is that visualized in a hand mill, where a Egyptian girl has a newborn son, and with her proud eyes she looks at him, and he looks at her and he smiles and he says, "Mother," he says, "thank you. Thank you for loving me and giving me my share of generous words and feelings. Before you have been my happiness. If something should happen to me, you know, you have been my happiness, and I hope I've given happiness to you." Then God killed all Egypt's firstborn children. There's a parallel to the Exodus story. Then he says, "Okay, you guys, saddle up. We're going to take you to a promised land." And they go to this promised land, and they come and they say, "Look, there's your promised land." By the way, Moses didn't make it and so forth, the leader, and neither did his brother Aaron, and neither did Mary. But they get to the promised land, and here's the scenario, here's the parable. What do you think? "Oh man, this is much better than what we had. This is beautiful, land of Canaan." He said, "But God, we got a question for you. I mean, there's houses down there, and there's families, and there's children playing in the yards. You know, I thought this was going to be our promised land." "Oh, that. Oh." Up comes the war wagon, machetes, pitchforks, shotguns, whatever. "Now, you go down there and you kill every man, woman, and child, or I will do to you what I thought to do to them." There is your precious Exodus. It's under Exodus if you want to see it again. Yes, sir.
You know, I see the reason that humanists and you don't get whatever respect or whatever from the rest of the world is because, as you pointed out, they're not doing anything different than the Bible. They're making programs that help people and harm others. So my solution is to help everyone and harm no one. And that's
Perfect
how.
solution. Thank you for that. I have 22 acres up there. 22 acres is a philosophy that's little known. I only heard it a couple times in my career. George knows about it. 22 acres, the essence of it is this. Because what are you going to replace religion with? You are the master of your life. That's the first thing religion takes out of you. You're no master. You're a slave to God. God owns your soul. Okay, a thinker says, enough of this being a slave stuff. They don't approve of slavery, don't like it, and so forth. By the way, I have to finish my story first, I guess. 22 acres is, everybody's inherently born with 22 acres. You got 22 acres, you got 22 acres, I got 22 acres, everybody's got 22 acres. In our mind, that's what we come, it's equality, men, women, don't make any difference. All this is 22 acres, everybody's the same. Now, nobody can ever take away your 22 acres. Can't be done. They can kill you, but they can't take away your 22 acres. That's yours. But you can lose it. Here's the kicker. If you're a master and I treat you like a master and you treat me like a master, we get along fine. If you invite me onto your 22 acres, I invite you onto my 22 acres, nothing's transgressed, right? But if you ever assume authority over any portion of another's 22 acres, yours is gone. So if you treat people as mastership, they are the master, you treat them like a master. I don't care if it's a female, you're the master of your life. Equality, exact equality. Black, yellow, Indian, Islam, treat them like masters. As long as you treat people like masters and abide by the 22 acres concept, you'll keep your mastership. But if you assume authority or possession over any portion of another's 22 acres, yours is gone. Has the United States lost its mastership as a country? What's the solution? 22 acres, right there. If you want to see the entire 22 acres. Sir.
I was trying to come at this from a different perspective. I was proselytized into becoming a humanist. I was uncomfortable with what I came with. And I needed to get out of whatever that cocoon was that I was in. So I, from within, sought to be a non-believer. So I'm assuming that happens to people, that they seek to get out of the trap.
How old were you?
10.
Yeah, George was 13 or 14. Hey, everybody has their story on that, yeah. I was a licensed ordained minister in 1982. I did it for other reasons other than, but still I had to go through this and go through that, and I became one. And then I started reading the thing for myself because I started asking questions, right? And I take things to heart. If I say something, that better be right. So I started reading the Bible. Well, I resigned the ordination in a few years, real quick.
What I'm getting at is, doesn't this substantiate all of this material by confronting believers through their texts?
I let them confront me, and then I just chapter and verse them to death. They run. I say, stay with me now. Stay with me. I encourage them. Look at the chapter and verse and correct it for me. Tell me where I'm wrong. They can't, they don't, they run. I try to keep them in there as long as I can. Don't I, Irvin? He's not here. Where'd he go? Maybe late slip. Oh. Let's talk about Jesus for a minute. Yes, ma'am.
Do you think the masses would be better off without the Bible?
Here's my slogan.
What was that?
Here's my slogan.
Okay, yeah.
The God of the Bible is not a good God, and the Bible is not a good model for humanity.
What are they going to get, or where are they going to go?
Well, as I said, 22 acres would be a good concept, but who knows? I wouldn't replace one religion with another. I would not put any deity. I put humans first.
But are they going to be able to accept that?
No. You see, intellect is understanding is an intellectual process. Acceptance is an emotional process. Whole different animal. So you can understand something and not accept it. I'm not there to make conversions. All I do is say, if you're going to believe in your God and you're going to promote him, at least know what he did. Carl.
Oh, no, I wasn't raising my hand.
Oh. Let's talk about Jesus for a minute and his lineage. Both Matthew and Luke do a lineage on him. And the women in Jesus' lineage are quite interesting. I mean, you had Sarah, we know about her. She told Abraham to go ahead and get a mistress for not to have a child that she was going to take, but then she did some female circumcision on Hagar also. The Quran talked about it in depth. The Bible sort of, she abused her and that's it. Not a very good model for humanity in one of Jesus' female lineage. Then we had Tamar. Tamar was, Jacob had 12 sons, and one of the sons was Judah. In fact, that's where the word Jew comes from. It's from Judah, the tribe. And Tamar was his son's wife, and he died or couldn't cut it, so God killed him, and then another son came in. He's the one that pulled out every time he had sex with her and spilled a seed on the ground, and God killed him. Not for masturbating, but for not knocking her up, not for making her pregnant. And so Tamar takes it upon herself to be a hooker and prostitute herself, and she stays on the side of the road, sort of incognito with makeup or whatever, and her father-in-law Judah didn't recognize her, and he says, I want to have sex with you. She said, well, what do you pay me? She said, well, here's a staff, here's a ring, my servant will go back and get some sheep for you. He says, okay. So she takes the staff and the ring. Judas impregnates her, and she has twins. She's in Jesus Christ's bloodline.